Okay, so it is Friday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, hence the green. I'm a good Irish girl. Well, part of me is a good Irish girl. The other parts are varying and sundry other types of stuff. But there's enough of me that's Irish that I always at least mark St. Patrick's Day, even if I don't like eat corned beef and cabbage and drink green beer, because I don't do those things. Silly me, right? I don't know, maybe I'm just not very much fun, but I don't. So make sure this thing's recording. Okay, so you can see I got my fake hair today. It's really windy out, and I'm tired of looking like holy hell when I go pick up trailers and it's windy. So I've got these little fakey hair things. And it's not like I think anybody's going to think it's real, because, well, I mean, nobody probably even will pay any attention, actually. But it makes me feel a little more put together and a little more professional looking when my hair's not just whoosh, you know, like a freaking whirlwind's been at it, which is how I look most of the time anyway. So I'm mostly a long-haired girl, but I had to cut it off a few years ago, and I've been screwing around with it ever since, trying to get it to do what I want it to do. It's finally doing what I want it to do. I actually had to cut it early last summer. I had them cut it really super short because I had been having my hairdresser lady put streaks in it, and the way they do that is they bleach the shit out of it. So I pretty much fried it, thinking I was being cute, you know, making it blend in with the gray. Well, now it's all natural. There's nothing dyed on my head, nothing bleached. It's all just, well, I should say it's not all natural. I got my fake hair on today, but all my hair is natural. It's just what God gave me at this time of my life. So some of it's gray, some of it's brown, some of it's white. Go figure. Anyway, I got my little ponytailer thing here. So I feel happy today. I feel more like me. So I miss having my ponytail, my long braid. I used to, before I cut my hair, my braid went down to my waist, and I miss it. And it's going to take about 5 more years for that to grow back to that length again, if I live that long. So in the meantime, I've got my pretends, so that I can at least feel a little bit more like me anyway. Make sure everything's staying put back here. And if it all goes to hell, I can take it off and just look like I'm all windblown anyway. But anyway, that's what I'm doing today as far as my hair. Now, as far as work, that's a different story. I'm going to Oklahoma City to pick up a trailer. It's a customized trailer, so I don't know how heavy it's going to be. I'm going to assume the worst. I'm going to assume it's going to be a heavy bitch, and I'm probably going to hate every second of pulling it. But I don't have to take it real far because it's going down to Weatherford, Texas, and it's going tonight. So this is great. This is my second job of the week, and here it is, 2 o'clock Friday afternoon, and I'm just now taking my second load. But this second load is going to put me almost, actually it will put me at 1,000 gross for the week. So I didn't think I was going to hit this mark this week, because I didn't even know about this job until, about an hour ago. And I had to hold off on coming up here because it's not even going to be ready until 3:30. So I'm jumping the gun a little bit. It's not quite 2 o'clock yet. And it's only going to take me about an hour to get up there, but I do need to stop for fuel. And I'm just going to kind of take it easy. I'm not going to, break any land speed records getting up there, but if I hit any bad traffic or anything, I've got a little extra buffer of time, because the people where I'm delivering this trailer to, they want it today. They wanted it earlier today, but evidently the customization place wasn't done with it yet. So I may have to sit and wait a little bit once I get there for it, but I'm going to haul it right on down to Weatherford, so it's all good. So I'm really, really glad to have this job, and I feel really great today. Yesterday, I didn't have work. Of course, Wednesday, I had the load to Amarillo. I'm just turning onto Highway 81 off of the county road on the north side of Marlow, Oklahoma. So I had that Amarillo load Wednesday, and that went great. It was actually wonderful because I got in there and got it delivered and was able to get home Wednesday night, which was really good because yesterday it got cold. We had a really crappy weather front move through. Gave me one of my shitty headaches that I get when the pressure changes. So I was kind of sickly all day yesterday. So I was glad that I didn't have to go out and work, and I was glad that I had delivered that trailer on Wednesday in Amarillo, because on Thursday in Amarillo it was freaking snowing. Hate snow. Hate snow. Hate it with a trailer. I don't mind it so much if it's just a truck, but I hate pulling a trailer on the snow. I just don't like doing it. So I'm really glad I didn't have to do it. I've done it. I'll do it again, I'm sure, but I didn't have to do it yesterday, so I was glad about that. But I didn't think I was going to get another job for the week, and that job only got me halfway to my 1,000 minimum gross goal for the week. That's been my minimum for every week this year so far that I wanted to make, and just the last 4 weeks I've actually been hitting that goal every week. So that's really good, because that's the extra money we need to live on, but I'm still getting a lot of good time at home. So when I'm home, I've been working with Tuck, the new little dog. He's a red heeler, and he's supposed to be the brother to my granddaughter's dog, and he's a blue heeler, so I don't know whether he is or not. It doesn't matter. He's a really cool little dog. He's pretty smart, and he's just as sweet as he can be. He's a real lovey-dovey dog. He likes being all huggies and getting, head rubbies and all that, so he's a good dog, and he's getting to be really well house trained pretty quickly. He's had like three bad accidents in the house, and we've had him for 3 weeks, so that's one accident a week, and none lately, none in the last day or two. The last one he had was when I left Wednesday, but I didn't take him out to go before I left, and I guess before Bill could get back in the house, he had already made a little mess. It might have been a big mess, but that was more my fault than his, because I got excited about going to work and just got out and went to work, and I didn't take him out before I left, so that one's on me. But so I'm really glad to have this job, and I'm really glad that it's another high pressure day instead of a low pressure stormy day. So my head feels good. Poor Bill, he's got the headache now. It's kind of weird because I get them when the storms are coming in, and he gets them when the storms are going out. I don't know. I think it's something about the barometric pressure in our heads, in our sinuses. And nobody for sure knows, but I think that's what it is. And it's miserable. It's really fucking miserable. So I feel bad for him. He's got to be putting up with that today. So what I'm going to do, since I'm going to be working all evening, and I'm going to have a trailer on for about 4 hours, so I'll get that delivered somewhere around 8 or 8:30 tonight, I think, is probably my best guess, because I think it's about 4 hours down there from Oklahoma City. So I'm going to stop in Chickasha at the Starbucks and get some food to take with me. I may not eat it right away, but I'm going to take it with me, because those little egg bites are pretty good cold too. You nibble on them cold, you need them hot, whatever. But I haven't really eaten yet today. Well, not a matter of haven't really eaten, I haven't eaten yet today. So, and I know I'm going to be hungry about the time I go pick up this trailer, so it'd be good to have something with me to eat. Because once I get that trailer on, there's no stopping at a Starbucks, unless I find one in a shopping center someplace that I can pull into with a trailer. And that's kind of rare on the route that I'm taking. So I'll probably go down Possibly through Mineral Wells. I'll have to look at my routing. I'll run back down 81 here and then probably peel off and go on down through Mineral Wells. I think that's the most direct route to Weatherford. It may or may not be, but I'll check. So I'm going to slow down here, back in Rush Springs. We know what Rush Springs is, speed trap. So I was watching my speed in Rush Springs. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good today about all this. I don't have to hurry at all. There's no big rush to any of it. I don't have it yet, but I will have a guy's phone number down in Texas to call with my ETA. And if he has any special instructions for where he wants his brought or whatever, he can tell me then. And, you know, it's up to me when I get it down there. I usually, when I do an ETA, I calculate, I kind of look at Google Earth and I look at my route and I figure out which way I'm going to go, and then I add an hour or so. And that gives me ample time to stop if I need fuel or if I want to stop and piddle or whatever, you know. Because, you know, you don't just drive straight through usually. If it's more than an hour or two, I'm going to be stopping at least once, most likely to get a cup of coffee, whatever. So I'll give him my ETA and then I'll get it down there when I tell him I'm going to get it there. There's our guy here. I can get this flipped around. Speed trap. They've always got somebody sitting down here running radar. So, I'm having all kinds of hell with this beanbag mount here. I can't really see the display when I'm using it, and I'm not really sure that it's not messing with my mic. We're getting into Chickasha. This is the south end of Chickasha. The very, very south end of it. Still on Highway 81. Road kind of bends around here and then runs up through town, through the center of town. I'm not going to go clear through the center of town. I'm going to go in far enough to get to Starbucks. And then out onto the turnpike. Or maybe I'll circumvent. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll get out on the turnpike. I got to stay on the turnpike anyway to get up north, so it's not too big of a deal. Nice heavy duty looking trailer. I'm glad I don't pull a trailer all the time, actually. Back when I started doing this and I was doing hot shot work, I always had a trailer behind me. I don't know what my camera's doing here. I'm sorry about this, guys. I don't know why it's being so squirrely. But it's nice to deliver the trailer and not have to haul it back home, which, you know, before when I was pulling a trailer like that, they put stuff on it and I'd go deliver it and I'd drag the trailer back home. So I always had terrible fuel mileage, pretty much. It was just one of those things. It kind of went with the territory. It made it difficult to stop anywhere, or, you know. So I'm glad I don't do that anymore anyway. And with these trailers I'm hauling, for the most part, I don't have to get out and tie down anything. So I don't have to get out all my straps unless unless I'm doing a stack, which I haven't done a stack in a long time. I probably won't do very many more stacks. Maybe one occasionally now and then, little ones. Like a couple of little trailers, one set on top of the other or something, but nothing like what I was doing last year. I'm just not going to do that anymore. It's too much. Too hard on this old lady. Okay, we've got some kind of an emergency vehicle going here. Looks like that might be fire. Looks like a red truck. Like a red pickup. I don't see any smoke back behind me anywhere. That sure enough looks like a fire department rig. We're just going to sit here and let him go as we're required. Yeah, that's fire. Doesn't surprise me though that there would be a fire day. As windy as it is, maybe if something gets going, you know, it's gonna go. I'm really glad they got this Starbucks in Chickasha finally. They just put this in last year, or early this year. I think they finally opened it up. Somewhere time around Christmas, maybe. Or shortly thereafter, but it hasn't been here very long. But I'm glad they got one here because before this one came in, the nearest one going north would have been up in Oklahoma City. And of course, the nearest one going west anyways in Lawton, and the nearest one going east from where I'm at is Ardmore. So this is the obviously the closest one to me. But I'm really glad it's here. Reason being, you know, whatever you think of their politics, they've got something I can eat there. I can't get the same stuff at like McDonald's or whatever. I used to buy all my coffee at McDonald's back before they tried to start competing with Starbucks and ruined their coffee. Because back in the day, before the whole Starbucks thing, before McDonald's decided they had to start charging $2 or $3 a cup for coffee because Starbucks was charging $4 or $5. They had really good coffee at McDonald's. Everybody loved McDonald's coffee, and now their coffee's just kind of it's gross. They didn't stick with what they knew. They decided they were going to get into this other realm of coffee, and they don't do it well, so it's really disgusting actually. It's a big letdown, and it's a lot more expensive, so you know. So I quit buying coffee there. Dang it, bounced off the curb. Do that every once in a while on these little skinny drive-ins. Okay, all right, so we are back in business here. I'm gonna just wash this windshield just in case. I don't know if I got anything up here that's messing up your view or not, but I know the other day I had a bug smear that was driving me crazy when I went to edit everything. Okay. All right. So we're back on track here. It didn't take very long. So it's 2:23. I need to be there at 3:30. Should work out just about right. because I'm 42 miles away and I'm getting on the turnpike up here, which is a 75-mile-an-hour road. So I've got an hour to get there before it's supposed to be ready, and it may not be ready at 3:30, so I may have to sit and wait a little longer, but I'm going to be there at least as close to 3:30 as I can get there, if not a little earlier, just cause. Oh, I love these egg bites. I'll let them cool off. They're usually too hot for me to eat unless I'm sitting in the parking lot with a fork. Pick them up with your fingers, they'll burn your fingers off. They get them really, really hot. What it is that's buzzing up here on the dash. Maybe the dash itself. This road is so rough here that this truck makes all kinds of weird noises. So does the other one, bouncing over these rough, busted up concrete slabs. Try to miss this last one, it's really bad. Yeah, there we go. Alrighty. So, we are on Interstate 44, also known as the H.E. Bailey Turnpike. Look at those leaves on the trees. Yay! I keep crowing about spring being here, but it's still 49 degrees out there. It's cold when you get out in that wind. So, yes, technically it's getting here. I think it is official next week. It'll officially be spring. Looked like they had that in hand. And like I say, I'm not running super fast today. I'm not in any big hurry to get there. I've got plenty of time. I gave myself really an extra half an hour because I knew I'd be stopping there and then stopping up here on the turnpike again, which I am going to do. I'm going to stop up here and fuel up in a couple miles at the service plaza. The last time I put fuel in this, I was in Clarendon, Texas on Wednesday. So I've driven a few miles since then. Like close to a couple hundred, I think. If I had to guess at it. And I guess I do, because I'm not going to stop and check it to see for sure how many miles it is. So I'm just guessing. Although I don't really have to guess, because I could look at my mileage when I last fueled up, and that would tell me. I mean, there are ways to do it. But I'm not going to do it while I'm driving 70 miles an hour up here, or 75. I guess I better pick up the pace, because I need to be in this left lane to catch the service plaza. It's not that far up here. But I got people pushing me behind me because I am in the fast lane. But you have to exit off the left here, so it's one of those deals. I don't like left-hand exits, but what do you do? Maybe they won't be quite as busy as they were when I came up here the other day. They were way busy. By the other day, I'm pretty sure I mean last week. I think it's the last time I fueled up at this one. So when I got up this morning, I thought I was going to probably be going to Kansas. There was a trailer sitting up in Kansas waiting to be hauled down to Willis, Texas. And one of my main motives for doing this load today, trying to get it delivered today, is so that I'm not tied to a trailer come Monday morning, because that trailer's still going to be sitting in Kansas. And that would be a good paying job. That's a lot of miles. Okay, so I can see how this is going to go. I need to just go in the diesel pump over here, call it good. It is busy. This place is usually busy. They've got, about the best fuel price around. It's not super great. I can get it cheaper in Lawton, but I'm not in Lawton. What the hell? Maybe that guy needs to slow down instead of freaking out. Maybe. It's my assessment. Some of these guys in these little box trucks drive like freaking maniacs, and a lot of them are foreigners. Not to be, shitty about it, but that's what I've witnessed. I forgot my spare key, but I do have my spare key fob. So I'm going to put that in my pants pocket just in case I, for some reason, lock the door behind me. It wouldn't be the first time. So I did not grab my spare key today. Like a dumbass. Okay, let's do what we got to do. And on we go. Onward and upward, I guess. This left-hand entry I hate so much. I don't like entering the freeway or the interstate on the fast lane. It's just a bad idea, I think. What do I know? I'm not a civil engineer though, so yeah. Okay. Now, where's my mic? I lost it here somewhere. There it is. Get rid of the gum. Duh. So, they're not going to be ready for another 45 minutes. So I'm just going to hang out and wait. I figured I'd be early. And I also figured that they might be running slow. But what I didn't know is they already had one driver up here today trying to pick it up this morning, and it was supposed to be ready to go, and it wasn't. That's why the guys in Texas weren't real happy with them for not having it ready, I guess, because they were expecting it today. So this is definitely a go with the flow type situation. There's nothing else I can do. Obviously, I can't, you know, just make it materialize just because I think it should. Doesn't work that way. So I'm just trying to bolster up my fakey tail here, my fakey ponytail. A little bit of a barrette. I don't want it coming off. That's not going to do it. That's not even doing anything. Like it if it would just stay on. That might do it there. That probably will do it. Let's do that. Yeah, there we go. That feels a lot more secure. Don't know how it looks. It's not going to matter. Well, anybody's going to be inspecting the back of my head, so. Alright, so anyway. So now I play hurry up and wait. So, I guess we'll just sit here and wait. See, what can I be doing? In the meantime, I can be looking at my route, for one thing. I can let my broker know. I am here waiting on this trailer, period. They're giving me 45 minutes until it's ready to go, period. I will let you know when I have it and head south, period. One of the main things in this business is communication. Not surprisingly. Okay, so he knows where I'm at. He knows what's going on. So when these people call him and say, where's our trailer? He can tell them exactly what's going on. Like, we're there to get it. They're not ready yet. So, stand by. Stand by. Just stand by. All right, well, that was a big bust. That whole heading over to Oklahoma City thing to get my trailer. What happened is, after I waited 3 hours, over 3 hours for him to get that. Well, no, it was over 2 hours. I got there at 3:15, so 4:15, 5:15, 5:50. They finally brought the trailer out to me, thinking it was ready to go. And it turned out that it had some kind of a malfunction in the lights that was not caused by the fuse on the truck or any of that stuff. It was a specific segment of the lights were not lit up, as though that wire going to them had been severed or somehow messed up. So they're going to have to take that trailer back in and fix it tomorrow and then send it out again later. So I ended up not getting a job out of the deal after going up there and wasting the money on diesel and sitting there for 3 hours, close to 3 hours. By the time I got out of there, it was 3 hours. But in a way, it was like a silver lining to the dark cloud. Dark cloud was I didn't get the job, and I wasted money doing it. But the silver lining was that job would have been, I would have had to have turned it down anyway because of the weight of the trailer. So I actually set the trailer down on the back of the truck, and it was way too heavy. You get to a point where you can kind of tell what a trailer weight is by the way it squats down the back of your truck. And this was the second worst, heaviest trailer I've had on the back of this truck. So it was way overweight. So it wasn't going anywhere anyway. Lights or no lights, it would not have left. So I'm glad, I was glad it was something that was their fault and not something that was, that I had to complain about. Because they were like, oh, well, you can't take this trailer with the lights malfunction. I'm like, no, I can't. I'm not allowed to do that. So they're like, oh, well, we're sorry. I'm like, you win some, you lose some. So we parted on good terms. But the thing about these trailer customizers, and I've run into this before, they get kind of wound up on really loading these trailers with a lot of luxury items, and they add a lot of weight to them. And they, like these guys tonight, could not give me even an estimate on how much that trailer weighs now. And I told them, I said, I really need to know how much it weighs if I'm going to pull it, because I have a weight limit. And I believe this trailer's over that weight limit. And they were like, well, we just don't know, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to be taking any more jobs at customizers. It's just, this is the second one now where I've had to leave empty-handed because they don't know how much the trailer weighs. And I've got a pretty good idea how much it weighs, just from the way it sits on the truck. And it's way too heavy for the way I'm licensed with this thing. So, it's one of those deals. So I guess that's the silver lining to the wasted money and didn't get the job cloud, is I also didn't get a ticket, and I didn't tear up my truck, and I didn't, lose my CDL over wrecking, and, because I was hauling a trailer that was too heavy. So, we'll take our little victories where we can get them. So in my mind, this is kind of a little victory. I was very cautious going up there and suspicious that this might turn out to be the case, and sure enough. So I'm done with customizers, never again. Anyway, it just reinforced what I already knew, that customizers don't necessarily make good customers because they do not track or give a shit how much weight they add to these trailers, and they don't care, or in any way, shape, or form, how unsafe that makes these trailers for the customers. They don't even think about it. It's not on their radar. So if you're looking to get into this business, this is something you have to be aware of. You have to know your limits, and you have to be able to gauge weights by the way something sits on your truck, because a lot of times they're going to plead ignorance. They're just not going to tell you, even if they know they're not going to tell you how much that weighs. They did not want to tell me that trailer weighed 25 or 30,000 pounds. And they did everything but tell me that. So, and they knew it. They know how much it weighs. They're not stupid. But they don't want, they don't want the responsibility. Well, the problem is, if I take the trailer knowing that it weighs too much, I've taken on that responsibility. Now I'm liable for it. And, we're just not we're not doing that. So anyway, I'm home for the night. We got a little chicken hatching in there, I guess. So I hear. So I'm anxious to get in there and see. So I will see all y'all later. Have a great weekend.